Okay, everyone, good morning. It is September 1st, Labor Day. So here is Google's. We're just going to try to decode the Google sign here. And you know how optimistic I always am about these type of people. So just looking at September 1st, there's your 9-1, which is IA, which is AI. They love 19. They tell you everything. Look at that. Remember what happened a handful of years ago? And then you have the COVID AI. When you look at the anagram for that, I mean, like they say, hidden in plain sight. If you look at the anagram, avoid DC. So here is CeII. He was ahead of the Operation Warp Speed. And look at her. Orange is the new black. He was a Belgian-American researcher who served as the head of Operation Warp Speed. Look at that, Op-Wasp. Isn't that interesting? A wasp is like white people. Under President Donald Trump from 2020 to 2021. And just to let you see, I'm not making it up, WASP is an acronym that stands for White Anglo-Saxon Protestant. So basically the person is of the white race. Operation WASP. Operation Warp Speed, also OWS. CeII is a former head of the vaccines department at GlaxoSmithKline. I've done videos on that before. So that's strange because when I look at the GlaxoSmithKline and I search that in my videos, it comes up with this. And in a little while I'll show you how that's relevant. He worked at the company for 30 years, retiring in 2017. On May 15th, 2020, President Donald Trump announced that CeII would manage the U.S. government's development of a vaccine used to treat coronavirus disease in Op-Wasp. Once again, when you look at it, it's COVID AI, which is avoid DC, and we all might know why. And when I look at CeII's anagrams, there's Iceman of Soul and CIA Flew Me Soon. There's a funny one, Ominous Fecal, and Incomes a Foul. I think a lot of people saw that their incomes or their businesses shut down. When you look at his whole name, Monsef Mohammed Slaoui, this is the anagram, CIA's homemade monoflu. Remember how I told you that would come into play soon? So look at this. Do y'all know what that is? It is a monopole tower. Monopole is a telecommunication tower. Looks so much like that logo, American Tower. And you know, when you look at the American Tower anagram, it's that, American Tower, new crematoria. And look at that, look at the smile. This is not a real smile. But looking at his name again, that's when he was the GlaxoSmithKline chairman. That's interesting, huh? Demonic Flame, USA Homo, or Mafia Demon Chemo Soul. Does anybody think that that chemoed anyone's soul? Just by chance? But there's your CIA's homemade monoflu. Yep. But back to Labor Day, because that is why I started all this. So look at their little clues in here. Okay, so earlier I said look at the metal here, like those sheets. It looks like they're sheets of metal riveted together. And I just wanted to show you right here what I saw. This is a video. Let me see if I can play some of it. I think it was in this video here. The China monopole antenna. Here's another one, China monopole antenna and microwave tower suppliers to the left. You click on that and you see this. I'll see if we can have it play it here. Makes lots of noise. It's really loud, in fact. So there's the workers on Labor Day working on the monopole. But see that? That looks like what Google's showing. So just looking at my old files, I see this and see how COVID-19, when you connect them, it's CVoid, but there's the 1 and the X, which is 9, and then the 2 I's, when you connect it, it's 911. Do you see that? And the 19 is AI. So just looking at some anagrams for operating systems, seeing smart typos, meta syringes ops. Looking over here, who's operating your system. Look at in operating systems is Energy's Mast IT op. Anyhow, it's getting long with the video, but operating systems, Energy's Mast IT op, anti-smog reset spy. Oh, it's endless. GE Masters is in there. So this is just my interpretation. So Google in itself, the anagram can be goo gel. I'd look more towards DARPA about that. So that right there says go, and then you got the hydrant. So like go fire. You've got the lug wrench, and you got a little bottom of the barrel food. Is that pumpkins or apples? I don't know. So an anagram for Labor Day is Bad Royal. So on Labor Day, Bad Royal causing fires, and that's why they show you their fire hydrant with the hat on it. That's interesting. So fire hydrant, white hat in simple gematria equals 222. So 1332 and 222 equals military intelligence and World Economic Forum and total collapse of America. That's interesting too. There's a hyper communication, as in like what we're being inundated with by all the distractions and the communication towers, the cell towers. So then we have the lug wrench on the tire there. The anagram can be lug wrench, hunger, clue, like clue. And then we follow it down, and for some reason, E, there's like a bunch of fruit at the bottom. Like, what does that have to do with labor? It's really interesting. So I looked at that as apples or pumpkins, bottom of the barrel, kind of like the dregs are the deplorables. So for Labor Day today, Google is showing us their bad royals causing fires, creating the hunger shortage for all the dregs and deplorables. After they have spent about 5+ years erecting all their monopoles. So real quick, we'll just run through it. Just visually, you can look at it. So this was just a quick look at a quick peek at what I seem to look at. Okay guys, carry on.